Have you ever felt like a small rabbit, scared of a big, scary lion? You know, that fluttery feeling in your tummy when you're about to do something new or different. Or perhaps when you're in a place that's too noisy, too cold, or too hot. Or when you have to say goodbye to something or someone you love. That's fear, my friends, and it's completely normal. We all feel scared or worried sometimes, just like that tiny rabbit when it sees the lion. Even grown-ups feel that way. It's just how our brains work. You see, our brains are like superheroes, always trying to protect us from any danger. And when they sense something scary, they make us feel fear so we can be ready to face it. So next time you feel that fluttery feeling in your tummy, remember, it's just your brain doing its superhero job. Just like that little rabbit, our brain has a special way of dealing with scary situations too. Did you know your brain has a superpower? Yes, that's right. Just like the superheroes you admire, your brain also has its unique strengths. Imagine a superhero standing in front of a villain. They have 3 choices: to fight the villain, to run away, or to freeze on the spot. Your brain works in a similar way when it faces something it perceives as threatening or scary. Let's dive a little deeper into this. The first option is to fight. This is when your brain decides to tackle the problem head-on. It's like when you decide to face your fear of spiders and let a tiny one crawl on your hand. That's your brain using its fight superpower. The second option is flight, which means to run away. This is not about being a coward, mind you. Sometimes it's the smartest thing to do. Imagine you're near a beehive and you accidentally disturb it. The bees start to swarm out, buzzing angrily. Your brain's flight superpower kicks in and you run to safety. The third option is to freeze. This is when your brain decides the best course of action is to stay still and not react. Picture this. You're exploring a forest and you spot a wild animal. You stand very still, hoping it hasn't noticed you. That's your brain using its freeze superpower. These responses from your brain can affect how you think, feel, and act. For instance, if you choose to fight your fears, you might feel courageous. If you choose flight, you might feel relieved once you're safe. And if you choose freeze, you might feel tense and alert. These superpowers are not just for facing physical threats, but also for dealing with worries and fears in your daily life. For instance, if you're worried about a test at school, your brain might decide to fight by helping you study hard, or flight by making you avoid thinking about it, or freeze by making you feel stuck and unable to prepare. So your brain is like a superhero, always ready to protect you. But what about when things around us make us feel worried or scared? You see, there's a whole wide world outside our windows, and sometimes it can be a little bit daunting. Imagine you're a tree. You're standing tall and strong, but then a gust of wind comes along. It might make you sway, bend, and shake, right? That's a bit like how we can feel when big changes happen in our lives. Maybe you're moving to a new place, or perhaps you're about to start a new grade at school. Or it could be something simpler, like a really loud noise that startles you. These things can make us feel a bit like that tree in the wind, a little shaken up, a bit wobbly, maybe even worried or scared. But here's the good news. Trees are really good at bending and swaying without breaking. And guess what? So are we. Just like a tree in the wind, we might bend and sway with these changes, but we won't break. But what can we do when we feel scared or worried? Well, just like a handy person uses different tools from their toolbox to fix things, we also have our very own emotional toolbox. Let's peek inside to see what we can use. First, we have the Talk It Out tool. Sometimes, just sharing our worries with someone we trust can make us feel a whole lot better. It could be a parent, a guardian, a teacher, or even a friend. Next, we find the Do Something Fun tool. When we're feeling down, doing something we enjoy can help lift our spirits. It could be drawing, playing a sport, or even reading a good book. Lastly, we have the Deep Breath tool. This is super powerful. When we're feeling scared or anxious, taking deep, slow breaths can help calm our minds and bodies. Remember, you're not alone, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Now let's have a discussion as a whole class. Can you think of a time when you felt like the small rabbit, all jittery and ready to hop away? Or perhaps like the bending tree, swaying with the wind of emotions? What did you do to calm yourself? Did you take deep breaths or maybe talk to someone you trust? Remember, it's okay to feel scared or worried sometimes, and there are always tools and people around to help you.